Hello, this is a guitar review for the Martin 000 X1. I bought this guitar about 4 weeks ago off eBay, paid about 440 quid for it. I did struggle to find out a lot of information online, any decent reviews about it, and to be honest, reviews really giving a background as to what's different about the guitar and why they're in such a good price bracket as well. To start off, I mean, it's a Martin guitar. I am a huge fan of Martin guitars. I really like Martins. I like American guitars. There's a Gibson J50 which I'm going to do a comparison to. In terms of this guitar, if you look at Martin guitars, I mean, they are fantastic. They're not the cheapest thing in the world. They are expensive. You can pay thousands for Martin guitars. This guitar comes in at, I think, list price online for Martin is $749. In the UK you can pick it up new for 540 quid, and for that you also get Fishman electronics in there as well. So it's a very good deal, you know, it's not bad for a Martin guitar. Why is it in such a good price bracket is the first question. Well, number one, these are currently manufactured in Mexico. Martin some time ago started manufacturing guitars in Mexico, basically to reduce the manufacturing costs. The guitars that come out of Mexico are very good value for money. They're not of the standard of US guitars. Obviously, you get what you pay for, basically. But yeah, they're good value for money in terms of what you're getting. What they've done with this particular model is they started manufacturing these in about, I think it was about 2007, 2008. And it was, I understand they wanted to make kind of an entry-level, lower-cost guitar. So it's very much kind of a no-frills guitar, if that makes sense. On the positives, it's a solid spruce top. It's a matte finish. I've read a couple of reviews said, you know, that people weren't particularly impressed with the finish. Doesn't bother me at all, to be honest. I'm more interested in what they sound like. There are no fret markers up the neck. So there's no inlaid fret markers. There are, however, some fret markers on the side. It's a 14 fret guitar. For anybody that is unfamiliar with what that means, essentially 14 frets, you've got 14 frets clear of the body, basically. I play a lot of slide, a lot of blues stuff, so that's in open A, cap hold at the 2nd fret. If this was a 12 fret guitar, acoustics generally 12 or 14 fret. You may see a lot of very early Gibsons, kind of turn of the century Gibsons, turn of the 20th century, should I say, that are actually bizarrely the 13th fret for some reason, but there you go. But it's a 14 fret guitar. You don't get a case with it. There's no hard case with it. There's no soft case. There's no case whatsoever. So that's one other way to keep the cost down. Second thing to talk about is construction. It's the materials that are actually used to make this. If you take a look at the neck there, you'll see all those lines running down the neck. It's not a solid wood neck, it's something called Stratabond. From what I understand, it's kind of a lot of different pieces of wood. I did see one review described it as a lot of chopsticks kind of glued together. So it's pieces of wood glued together and the neck's cut out of that. It's apparently cheaper to manufacture, you know, a guitar neck doing that. On a negative, you know, maybe it doesn't look the prettiest. I don't know, I can't say it particularly bothers me. I read some reviews that said that people didn't like the feel of the neck, they found it a little bit rough. Again, it's a little bit rough. I think there might be a little bit of glue left over on the neck joint here, but I can't say it particularly bothers me, to be honest. You know, the feel of the guitar's fine to me. So that's the neck, Stratabond neck. Next thing to say is it is a solid wood top. It's X-brace, I think it's A1 X-brace or something, I can't remember how Martin termed it, but it's an X-brace guitar. The OM1, which is a similar ilk to this, it's similar type materials, it's a lower cost guitar, slightly bigger body, I think is X-scallop braced as well. But in terms of other materials, the sides of this and the back of this are made from high pressure laminate. You'll see it on the Martin website, it's HPL, high pressure laminate. It's not proper wood essentially, it's a lower cost material. And this is all how Martin managed to keep the cost down in manufacture. In terms of playability, I'd say the people that appeal to, I've always liked small body guitars. If you're into blues, you know, a lot of slide. All that kind of stuff, they are great for that. They're very sharp tone. The small guitars have a really nice feel to them. There's inevitably going to be a payoff for that. Now the payoff is they have a different sound to kind of the dreadnoughts that people are used to. This is tuned to open A. If I hit this with a pick, that's on the Martin. If I take my Gibson J45, it's a Gibson Gibson J50. It's a Gibson J45 with a natural top on it. Essentially, probably comparable to something like a Martin D28. So if I hold an A chord on that, to me, you're getting a much kind of bassier sound out of the dreadnought body. I would say as well with this, one of the big payoffs is inevitably volume. If you're playing along with other people, this is it's going to be a quieter guitar. I'd say even your voice, you kind of struggle along with. I don't know, to me maybe a dreadnought is a better option, but if you do like the more kind of fingerstyle stuff, you move into a bit of folk fingerstyle country blues, that type of guitar is a great option. I mentioned about them being made in Mexico. Don't believe what everybody tells you, I did speak to a Martin Heritage dealer in the UK on the phone that swore blind to me these were manufactured in the US. And it's not that clear on the Martin website, to be honest, either. It doesn't, when you read the spec, it doesn't specifically say made in Mexico. I actually rang them up to clarify that. That's how the Mexican guitars not being as good as the US, or inevitably not going to be as good as US guitars, are not in the same price bracket. One thing to be aware that a lot of people don't know about this guitar is these were started to manufacture about 2007, 2008, I believe it was. When they first started making these, they actually dual manufactured between the US and Mexico. I'm guessing, this is purely a guess, maybe it was along the lines of it was a completely new product, it was new materials, they just wanted to check out manufacturing was going in the US before they just shipped the whole lot across to Mexico. So this guitar I picked up off eBay, and this is a pre-2008 model, you'll be able to see in there. It's actually manufactured in the US. So from my personal point of view, I paid 440 quid for this. For an extra 100 quid, I could have got a brand new one with a full guarantee and the Fishman electronics in there as well. I would personally rather buy a second-hand guitar that I know has been made in the US. But again, it's down to personal choice. Go out and try one. Try the Mexican ones. I have played the Mexican ones and they're fine. On the front of Mexican guitars as well. I'm not slating them too much. They are very good value for money. And I've got to say, I saw Ed Sheeran on national British television at the weekend playing live, and he was playing a Martin LX1, which is made in Mexico. And to be honest, it sounded great. If you are looking at this type of guitar, I looked at a lot of guitars before I bought this. I have a Gibson J50, I love Gibson guitars. The Gibson Blues King, to me, is a fantastic guitar. I really love that guitar. It's a lot more expensive than this. I think it's about 1,600 quid, maybe even more in the UK. But it's a really nice guitar. You can get it in the tobacco burst as well, and it just kind of oozes blues. It is to me the kind of blues acoustic guitar. You don't get a hard case with that guitar. It comes with a gig bag, which is a little surprising, but there you go. Other guitars, if you do want to spend a bit more and get something with a natural finish, I've spoke to a lot of guitarists that don't they find this finish a little bit artificial. Personal choice. Check out all the other Martins, the Martin 000 series, the 00 series. I do particularly like the Martin 00s with a slotted headstock. I think they might call them kind of vintage series or something. And you'll see the cutouts in the headstock. Those guitars are great. They're only available in a 12 fret, however, but if that's not an issue to you, they're a fantastic buy. The other smaller body guitar that I've played that I think is fantastic is the Guild F20. That is a really, really nice guitar. I did consider going for Guild F20. However, it will probably cost you an additional £1,000 to buy a Guild F20 to this one. But I would say the finish is far superior. The construction, the materials are far superior. It's a great guitar. Hope this has been helpful. I don't generally do guitar reviews, but it was a bit of a learning curve actually going out and purchasing this. So hopefully, if you are looking at this type of guitar, you might find this useful. I don't know. Thanks a lot.